What is up? Uh, yeah, it's been a couple weeks since the first episode in the T-pop show. Well, since the first live stream in this series, but yeah, we have finally started. We're finally doing another episode. So yeah, again, we got 5 topics like we usually do. That this is what I'm going to try to do for the series. I'm at least going to have about like 5 topics for each episode, although some of them may be a couple less than 5, maybe a couple more than 5. But the usual average is going to be 5. But yeah, in the last one I did go over the future topics that I was going to be talking about, but this one I'm going to keep them a surprise because I like keeping my viewers in suspense. But yeah, first we're going to start off with some more light topics. And then towards the end, we're gonna get into a pretty serious one. But hello, Vinny. You just came in before I even started. But yeah, again, we're gonna start with one that's relatively uh, say for a little relatively light topic. And yeah, the first one is I'm probably gonna be moving soon. Well, it's not exactly in the same. Well, it's not exactly in the traditional means of moving. Yeah, as you guys know, I've talked about this house multiple times. I've railed it constantly, but again, I could go on and on about what I don't like about this house, but I feel like I've done that enough. But yeah, soon I'm gonna be, I guess you'd say, technically moving back into my apartment. Like the apartment, I think you guys know about that. I moved I moved there in 2020, and that's where a lot of my most recent videos have been recorded at. And yeah, to sum it up, it does have some issues, but I'll take that over this house any day. But yeah, and this is kind of also foreshadowing for what the last topic could be about. Well, I'm gonna mention it in the last topic, but yeah, don't want to quite give it away yet. But yeah, okay, this next one is definitely more on the light subject. I think you guys probably know about the game South Park Phone Destroyer. Or I don't know if you guys really know that much about it, but yeah, I kind of started doing videos on it again. I first played the game back in I think I first played it back in like early 2019, like January or February of 2019. Well, I think it was like towards the end of January, and yeah, to be honest with that game, it's a bit of I have a bit of a love hate relationship with the game. It can be fun, and I do like the overall concept of it, and I think it's pretty solid as a South Park game, but when it comes to PvP, like fighting people, it's got quite a bit of issues. But again, I the reason why I'm talking about it in this segment is because today it turned 4 years old. So yeah, that South Park Phone Destroyer is now 4 years old, and yeah, they've made some improvements since the start of the game, but they've also made a lot of really bad decisions. I think they are doing a bit better at like balancing the game when it comes to just like the overall cards. Because there's a certain card in that game, Dark Angel Ridge. She was fucking OP for a long ass time, but I think they finally balanced her well enough. But yeah, you still have the issues of like fighting whales constantly, like whales as in people who spend like fucking 10K on the game or more. But yeah, again, I just wanted to dedicate this segment a little bit to that game because, well, it's 4 years old now. So, yeah, happy 4th anniversary. But, yeah, the next one, okay, this one's going to be probably one of the more fun topics to talk about here. Future plans for the Prank Legion videos or the Prank Legion series. Now, you guys definitely know about the Prank Legion series on this channel. It's probably one of my favorite I just say series to do on this channel. Again, if for those in the back who don't know about this series, this kind of started during some drama, which I mean it does such that it spawned from that, but basically what gave me the idea to do it is back in like 2015 or 2016. Well, these channels were kind of prevalent back in like the 2014 or 2013 to 2017 or so. And basically, it's these people that run around doing pranks on people, and by pranks, it's or along the lines of just straight up crimes, but they just label it as a prank so they could get off scot free for it. That's basically what convinced me to do the Prank Legion series, but replace these pranksters with either fictional characters or some real life people. It used to be where I'd use some people that I had some beef with, but now it's pretty much just like now it's pretty much basically like the freaking Super Smash Brothers Brawl mods or the Mugen, however you say that freaking the name of that one game. It's basically like the Mugen. I don't know how to fucking say it, but yeah, basically the series I could just throw in anyone and like literally anyone as a character. But yeah, again, I'm still working on, or I'm still thinking about what to do for the next Prank Legion video. But yeah, I am probably going to be using another ASMR like audio thing. But yeah, again, it should be fun. But yeah, again, didn't talk a whole lot about the plans, but just know that soon you will be getting another Prank Legion episode. Okay, the next topic, and this is the fourth one, we are going to be talking about my plans on remaking some of my old top 10 videos. Now, I don't know if many of you guys know this, but I do actually do top 10 videos. Now, granted, it's probably been like a couple weeks or a couple months since we did a top 10, but yeah, I kind of started doing top 10s ironically back in 2016, like during like the early days of my YouTube career, and yeah, they kind of started out pretty bad, like the old top 10s that I used to make. I'm not going to beat around the bush. They're pretty fucking shitty, mainly because I just really did not know how to freaking edit back in the day. Well, I kind of have like a basic slight grasp on how to edit, but again, I wasn't even really that good at it. But then my top tens moved over to this channel, and they kind of went through some changes. I think the first top 10 I made on this channel was an old top 10 SpongeBob episodes list. Sorry for the siren in the back, but yeah, it was a top 10 SpongeBob episodes list, and that was pretty shitty as well. Mainly because the audio was an absolute nightmare, and it was basically like ear rape on steroids. But yeah, then I just should say revamped my top 10 series back in I think 2020. I think it was like early 2020 where I revived it, and yeah, granted, I am a little kind of proud of my early top 10s from 2020. Well, I mean, they aren't like the most amazing things ever, but I mean, they're definitely better than the ones that I used to make. Although I'm thinking about reviving a couple of them, or I'm thinking about like remaking a couple of them. Well, not like they're not going to be like the same positions for each one, but some ones I really would like to remake or like redo are my top 10 or my top 20 fighting games list. Yeah, that one I did make like a really bad editing mistake somewhere. Like I accidentally repeated the audio on one of the files, but it's also because I just that list really needs to be updated because I've changed my mind on a lot of the games. Well, not necessarily like I shifted them into a negative viewpoint, but there's also some newer games that I've played that I really would like to put on that list. But yeah, again, still trying to I just need to make it. And another one I'd like to remake is my top 10 Mega Man games list because I think that one would be pretty different nowadays too. And there's probably some other ones, but yeah, at some point when I finally decide to, I'll be remaking some of my earlier top 10 videos. And I'm also going to be doing just more newer ones. Oh, yeah, another one I'm planning on remaking is kind of a recent one. It's my top 10 favorite shows list, or the two parts in that, like my favorite, basically two lists talking about some of my favorite shows. Yeah, I have changed my mind, or I have some updated viewpoints on some of the shows there, and there's also some ones that I watched more recently, or some older shows that I finally rewatched. And yeah, some of the shows on that list are going to be kicked off, but there are some newer options or some newer shows that are going to be put on there. So yeah, stay tuned for the remake of that one as well. But yeah, anyways, I think we've had our fun for now. Now it is time to delve into the most serious part of this of this live stream. So, yeah, okay, I'm sorry for the stutter in there, but I know a lot of people give a lot of shit to 2020, and I can definitely understand why. Like, 2020 had a lot of really bad stuff happen. I think that was a year where, like, pretty much like every celebrity under the sun died, or maybe that was 2016, I don't know, but yeah, 2020 was also the year where the COVID pandemic started, and we've all practically just been locked up in our house, in our homes forever. Although, take out stuff like the COVID pandemic, take out like all the mostly really bad stuff, and also take out the whole Trump being president thing. 2020, in my opinion, was actually a pretty fun year for the most part. Well, mainly just for me, and the good parts of 2020 were way better than the good parts of 2021. Or okay, to cut to the chase, 2020 is the worst year of my freaking life. Like, and I'm not even kidding. Like, 2020 has not been a fun year really at all. Well, I mean, it obviously does have its good moments, but 2020, like at the current point, it's like the worst year ever for me. Now, I've been through some pretty shitty years, and there are a couple of years that I would say are definitely like standout bad in my opinion. Like 2012, that was a really a bad year for me, mainly because of stuff like my school life and bullying and crap. 2016 was also pretty bad. Like I had to deal with a tornado outbreak, and it was also again just really not a good year. 2019, yeah, that was another one I really didn't like. That one just was not fun either. I would still rather go through all three of those years again, back to back, than go through 2021 again. Now, yes, like I said, 2020 really did have some really bad stuff in it, but there was a lot of upsides to 2020 in my opinion. Like for example, I finally moved to me and my dad finally got a home where we could actually live by ourselves. Oh, I pay the Holy Touch show. You just made it for the last segment. Like for 2020, there was some positive stuff. Like for example, me and my dad finally moved into a house where we don't have to live with someone else. We finally have our own peace. 2020 is really where my YouTube career. Well, I don't know if I'd say my YouTube career completely kicked off, but this was really where I felt like I started having a lot of fun with YouTube. And yeah, like those examples are pretty fun for me. I mostly had pretty good relationships with people. Again, it was also just the year where I had the most fun making a lot of my YouTube videos, and I did get more involved with the physical media community. Well, at least some people. For better or for worse, there are some aspects that I'm going to rail on it for 2021. But yeah, like 2020, again, just take out stuff like the pandemic and Donald Trump and shit like that. It wasn't a bad year. And then there's 2021. And yeah, for basically the end of the stream, I'm going to be railing this freaking year. So January of 2021 was actually not that bad. Like, I mean, yeah, it wasn't like the greatest month ever, obviously, but it was all right. It kind of continued the 2020 aspect, and hey, at least we were finally getting the COVID vaccine in this year. And then there was a certain video I made in February of 2021. I'm not gonna specifically name it, but let's just say it was involves a certain someone you guys know of, and that video basically solidified that this was gonna be a horrible year for me because yeah, this video pretty much just meant that I was just going to get involved in a frick ton of drama that would just not be fun at all. And, like, the thing is, I didn't want to be in all this freaking drama with people like you know who and some other people. Like, again, I did not want to, really did not want to freaking be in that drama. And yeah, there were some kind of funny videos that did spawn from the drama, but again, it was just overall the aftermath of this stuff that was just like it was really stressing me out more than you may. Like, I mean, yeah, my videos I did sound like I was having fun, or I did have like kind of a, I guess you'd say more I don't know if I'd say narcissistic tone, but kind of a fuck you too type of attitude, or like no fucks given attitude. But really on the inside, like, these dramas were just really not fun for me, and I focused way too much of my time into just respond to these people that really just aren't worth my freaking time. But yeah, that was pretty much what sucked for the most part about like the first half of the year. Like, yeah, like the first half did have some other stuff that maybe kind of sucked, but the main reason why the first half sucked was really just the drama side of things. But it didn't. It didn't. The year didn't have to go to shit solely because of that stuff. Like, yeah, eventually I did thankfully take some steps to actually like stopping I like to just like for example I nuked all the drama videos off my channel and I'm gonna be shifting away from that. But I think what really again solidified this being a crappy year for me was me agreeing to moving into this house. Now granted I didn't know what necessarily I was in for, so I can't completely blame myself, but yeah, again, I've talked late. I talked about a lot of stuff about this house. Well, I don't know if I really mentioned the house and the house that I'm living in my videos before really that much, but yeah, like this house has a lot of stuff that I really don't like. Like, for example, two of the animals that are here just to leave piss and shit everywhere, and I stepped in both quite a bit, and I mean that's just really not fun to do at all. A lot of family fights happen here. Yeah, like overall, just the vibe of the house is just really not fun and like just really not healthy. Because again, let me just tell you, most of my time that I spend at this house is just me chilling in my freaking room, like playing games or like watching videos and stuff. Like I rarely go downstairs and actually, I just to say interact or socialize with my other family members. Because again, I just really did not know how much I really could not really stand them until I actually started living with them. But I think the year can pick itself up back once that plan that the plan that I have, where I'm gonna kind of be moving back in the apartment, could help. I mean, we still got me and my dad still got like turn the Wi-Fi back on at that apartment, but once that happens, I think we can finally. I think the year could also start to pick up for me. But yeah, I think I talked long enough on this last segment. But yeah, I think that is going to do it for the last episode or for the last segment of the second episode of the T-Pop Show. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I do like doing these. Again, well, before we officially sign off, I would also like to say now I know I said this, but again, it is taking a bit to get to the 500 subscriber special because it's taken me forever to get there. But I swear, once we get to 500 subs, I will be doing the unpopular opinions video trap. Actually, what I'm thinking about doing is I'm gonna record the video early, and then once I hit 500 subscribers, I'm gonna release the video. I think that sounds like a decent idea. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and see you guys in the either next video or maybe next live stream. I don't really know. But anyways, see you guys later.